Back squats is an essential exercise in strength training that strengthens the front, the back, and also the glutes. In addition, core muscles are also involved as stabilizing muscles throughout the lift. This video will closely examine exactly which muscles are activated during the squat. The research might surprise you, so stick with us to the end and we'll have all the findings. If you missed our previous video on squat technique, watch that one before practicing the back squat exercise. We'll put the link in the description, so make sure to check that out. In strength training anatomy, we have some words and expressions related to which the primary muscles during an exercise, which muscles are secondary in the exercise, and not least, which are the supporting muscles throughout the movement. We call the primary working muscles agonists, while the secondary muscles are called synergists. For example, in a regular back squat, muscles such as quadriceps, gluteus maximus and medius, biceps femoris, semimembranosus and semitendinosus, and adductor magnus will work in parallel with each other so that you can perform the exercise as best as possible. Based on several studies, the primary working muscle in the back squat, the agonist, will be quadriceps, which again consists of four muscles: rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and vastus intermedius. Hence the name quadriceps. The quadriceps make the following movements in the knee and the hip joints: extension in the knee joint and also flexion in the hip joint. In addition, the gluteus maximus muscle will also be important in a squat as it extends the hip joint. Regarding secondary muscles, the synergists, research shows that gluteus medius with the task of abducting the hip joint and the adductor magnus with the task of abducting the hip joint help keep your knees stable throughout the exercise. These two muscles will work as secondary muscles throughout the lift. They will also be extra activated when you push yourself up from the sticking point. In a squat, the hamstring group, the biceps femoris, semimembranosus and semitendinosus is called antagonist, an anatomical term for opponent. This means that it works in the opposite direction as a quadriceps. The quadricep group has a task of extending the knee joint and also flexing the hip joint. In contrast, the hamstring group does the opposite, flexing the knee joint and also extending the hip joint. If this video is helpful for you so far, we really appreciate if you could give us a thumbs up and also let us know in the comments below. So let's dive into the different types of squats, a look at how the muscles activation changes depending on the exercise and the way of the lifting. As you've probably seen, there are several different types of forms of squats. Among the most common, we've got the regular back squat, which can be divided into the high bar and also the low bar versions. And we have the front squat, where the bar is positioned on the chest and also the shoulders. We will now take a closer look at the muscle activation in these various squats. When we move the bar further down behind the back, there will be some difference in muscle activity. It's been shown in several studies that with a low bar, the adductor magnus and the gluteus medius are more activated due to a natural wider leg position. On a low bar, we have to compensate by leaning more forward. Since you lean more forward, you create a greater angle in the hip joint, which leads to the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings, and also the erector spinae being activated. An extensive review study from 2017 that looked at the biomechanical differences between high versus low bar concluded that if you want to develop the posterior chain, you can use a low bar. On the other hand, if you want to perform squats with more of an upright upper body and focus more on the quadricep group, you can use a high bar. When we move the barbell to the front, the muscle activation will also change. As a result of the bar being placed in the front of the body, the knees are forced forward and over the toes. Because of this, the quadricep group will be more activated. In addition, the upper body will be more vertical, leading to a shorter working path to the hip joint and a longer working path to the knee joint. When you have this body position, there's a lot of stress on the erector group to keep your back straight. Although this is a front dominant exercise, the gluteus muscles will still be active. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and ping that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos coming up. And if you want to dive deeper into squat technique, check this video right here to learn more about how to get the most out of your squat training.